Today I want to talk about the quadrants of time. And the reason I'm making this video is that I have actually struggled with this lately. I've been getting distracted, spending time in a quadrant that I don't like to be in. And so for those of you that haven't heard of the quadrants of time, quadrant 1 is urgent and important. Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. Quadrant 3 is urgent but not important, and quadrant 4 is neither urgent or important. And when I first heard about these quadrants, what I thought was, well, we should all be in quadrant 1. It matters on two levels. It's urgent and important. That seems critically necessary that we would stay there. And what I've actually figured out over the years is that quadrant 1 really is not where we want to be. Quadrant 1 suggests that we didn't spend enough time somewhere else in quadrant 2, and it's where we have these fire drill, hair on fire sort of moments, people knocking on our door, calling us up, asking, hey, do you got a minute? I need you to review this or talk to me about this report or this difficult situation or kind of this crisis that's happening. And it's a very stressful place to be. It's a very reactive place to be. And oftentimes it takes a lot of our energy, to the point that if we spend too much time in quadrant 1 during the day and we feel like we're always getting pulled in all these different directions and we're up against all these deadlines and people are constantly almost acting like, hey, we should have gotten this done like yesterday, we're behind. When we spend time there, when we go home, we feel the need to recover from that and recharge our batteries from that. And what happens is that we actually end up spending a lot of time in quadrant 4, the not urgent, not important. We'll play video games for a few hours. We'll watch television for a few hours. We'll do things that actually they're enjoyable, they're fun, but they don't actually help us build or create a great life for ourselves. They're not actually helping us achieve our most wild, awesome dreams and passions. They're not helping us connect with our vision, mission, and core values statement. It's not actually helping us become who we really want to be and fulfill our greatest potential. And so the risk of quadrant 4 is that we never actually get ahead of life. We're always in this reactive and kind of response mode. Quadrant 2, when we talk about quadrant 2 is kind of an interesting place because nobody sort of knows whether or not you did it. I'll give you guys some examples of quadrant 2. Reading and investing in your learning, reading books to help you grow and develop as a person. No one's going to really know if you did or didn't do that, but you're going to know over time because you're not going to learn new beliefs and new paradigms and new ways of thinking if you never read. If you're in leadership, coaching your team, investing in them, developing them when there isn't a problem or no one's in trouble. This is a huge quadrant 2 activity. Again, no one really knows if you've done it or not. Your team knows, but your boss may not know and other people in the organization may not know. But this is how you build a great team. This is how you get people stronger and more empowered, and they can do better work for you, and that will help you actually, you guessed it, stay out of quadrant 1. For me, in the last couple of years, writing my books was a quadrant 2 activity. I didn't have a publisher or an agent asking me for the manuscript back by a certain deadline or a date. I wanted to write the books. And so some days it was tough to make time for it because, clients were sending me emails. I had people that I wanted to meet with. Those people knew whether or not I would be there, but only I knew if I was carving out time in the evenings and on the weekends to write the book. But when I finally did finish both books, I felt great. I felt like I had accomplished this life goal that I had had forever, and it was really, really important. Going to the dentist, that's a quadrant 2 activity, to get cleanings and preventative checkups done. This is what prevents you from getting cavities and needing maybe a root canal later because you didn't take care of your teeth. And finally, another example, investing in your health and fitness, working out every day. No one's going to come beat down your door if you didn't go on that run or you didn't get to the gym. But over time, the effects of you not caring for your health and doing that will start to show up. Quadrant 2 is really important. It's probably the quadrant that gives you the biggest ROI. It gives you the most return on your investment. When you invest time in quadrant 2, you don't always see the effects of that in the same day. In fact, usually you don't. But over a long, extended period of time, like years, you will know whether or not you were in quadrant 2 enough. It's the place where you get to plan for the future, you get to plan for tomorrow, you get to imagine and think about what you want your life to look like. One of the biggest quadrant 2 activities that I make time for, that I see a lot lot of people not make time for, and this really affects them, is to devote an hour or two every week, and I think it's best done at the start of the week, to plan your week, to figure out what are the activities that are most important, what has to get done, what are the couple of things you could do that if you did them, they would have the biggest effect on your life, on your career, on your happiness, and where are they going to go? Ultimately, putting them in spots on your calendar and figuring out, okay, I'm going to do that on Tuesday morning. I'm going to do that on Thursday night, giving them that space to live and breathe. When you do this at the start of each week, and I know it takes time and it's hard to commit to it, but it changes everything. It actually gets you in proactive mode. You are starting to imagine with deliberate intent what you want that week to look like. And if you do it every week with consistency, you've really designed what you want your life to look like. And so I highly, highly recommend you consider this. Ask yourself, how much am I spending each week in quadrant 2? How much am I doing things that are really important, but they're not urgent? No one's going to know if I did them or not. They don't have to be done, but this is the spot where I get to figure out, am I living my mission statement? Am I living my values? Am I becoming the person I want to be? What are my most important goals that I'm passionate about? How am I going to achieve those? If you don't make time to do that, I can guarantee you those things aren't going to happen, and you are constantly going to be at the mercy of your boss and your colleagues and other people that are asking for your time and demanding your time. So if I can give you one piece of advice this week, get into quadrant 2, spend more time there. You'll feel better, you'll feel happier, and this is what's going to allow you to become the great, absolutely outstanding person you can be. It's what actually allows you to self-actualize. And so with that, I hope everybody makes a great day. If you want to talk a little more about these concepts of the quadrants, I would love that. So reach out, shoot me a message, give me a call, drop me a line. Looking forward to it. Everybody make a great day. Talk to you soon.